conversation with me in your head, because I didn't
No, I did. I told
hear
you.
any of this. This is all like completely new stuff. So, weirdo. I feel like you need to move over more because the thing's right in your face. $10 seconds.
This is Gov's Radio. Gov's Radio.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club, the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Thanks for joining us this morning. GovsRadio.com is the website. You can see our show there live right now.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
I'm Danny Bonaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny
Knockem
Bonaducci.
Dead Comedy Radio Show, also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, also brought to you by... The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is brought to you by the Roslyn Social, North Shore's premier rooftop lounge, located in the heart of Roslyn Village at 1363 Old Northern Boulevard. Give them a call, 516-801-4963, and say hi to Nick. Fantastic food, great atmosphere, just a great time all around.
Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show, the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast. I keep screwing that up. I'm not used to saying podcast yet. It says podcast right there. Hello, DJ. Hello, Felix. Felix is watching. Hello, Felix. Thanks for joining us this morning, everybody. It is the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast here on Gov's Comedy Club. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. See, this is what happens when I'm by myself. I need Sallie back. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. There you go. The Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club right here in Levittown. That is the place where you will see the great comedian Modi. That's tonight. He'll be here. Dave Attell will be here this weekend. Talk about a great lineup of shows. At the Brokerage in Belmore this weekend, Carmen Lynch is playing this weekend. There's also an open mic tomorrow night. At McGuire's this weekend, playing McGuire's out there in Bohemia. That's on the east end of Long Island. Clayton Fletcher will be playing McGuire's this weekend. And Clayton Fletcher will be Zooming in with us tomorrow during the show. Clayton Fletcher will be on the show with us tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Now, speaking of Modi, I got some announcements to get out of the way. And then we got Joe Pontillo coming in probably around 11:30. He'll be here. So looking forward to that. Joe Pontillo, a great, funny guy. Speaking of Modi, we need to apologize to Modi. We need to apologize to you guys. We had Modi on our show on Tuesday. We had some technical difficulties. We could hear him here in the studio. You guys couldn't hear him at all. I was getting messages, and I could even see it on the monitor here, that Modi's audio was not getting through to you guys. I was trying to, do an interview with him, listen to his answers, ask questions, and figure this out at the same time, and I blew it. I couldn't figure it out. I believe I took all the proper steps. I was double-checking my work. I don't know what the problem was. I then told you guys afterwards, when Modi was done, that we had problems with the audio, and I was going to fix it after the show and repost it. Well, my audio recording of the show didn't pick up Modi's audio either, so that's why I never reposted it. So we lost Modi's audio completely, and it's a shame. I feel awful about it because it was a great interview. Modi was very funny, very friendly. I even cut it short with him because I just couldn't concentrate. Trying to listen to him, trying to figure out what question to ask next, trying to figure out what was going on here. Again, big apologies to you guys, big apologies to Modi. I hope he'll give us another chance and come back in here at some point. Maybe tonight when he's here at the club. I don't know, maybe he'll sit down. I don't know. So, again, big apology to you guys, big apologies to Modi. Nobody feels worse about it than I do. I was not happy, to say the least. So, and I will double-check my work tomorrow to make sure it goes well with Clayton Fletcher. So, I just wanted to apologize for that. Let's see. So, we got some other announcements. Please, as you see right there, right here, please like and share our show. Please subscribe to the Gov's Comedy Club podcast YouTube channel. And please like and share all of our shows. Like this one right now, because it's live right now. The Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, Joe Pontillo coming in soon. Please share the show to everybody you know, all over your social media platforms. Hope you enjoyed Steve Squared on Tuesday night. He was on a special night this week, Tuesday. But the big news around here, coming back, returning for season 3, I think it is, here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, Top Fives with Don Sill this Friday. New date, new time. Fridays, I think it's either 7:30 or 8. I'll get back to you on that. I think it's 8. Top Fives with Don Sill returning this Friday. Very excited about that. As you guys know, Don is awesome. So we're happy about that quite a bit. There is no live from Governor's Green Room this week. I thought we were returning this week, but I was wrong. We are returning next week. Next week for sure. Live from Governor's Green Room. So lots of stuff going on here at Governor's podcast. Also, you guys have seen this room. You've seen what we can do in here. We do have some hiccups once in a while, but we still put on a pretty decent quality product here. So, if you would like to start your own podcast, or you know somebody that does, what a great holiday gift that would make, to book some studio time here at Governor's Comedy Club Podcasts. That's right. Maybe you want to do a show. Maybe you want to do a regular show. Maybe you just want to do a one-time special. Whatever you want. Come on in, and we'll make it happen for you. We got 4 seats here at this table. We got a couch that seats 3, microphones for every single person, so that's 7 mics. We got 5 cameras. We have Zoom capabilities most of the time. We have graphics, like you see the phone number right here. We got displays right there. We got all sorts of cool stuff. You guys have seen, we put pictures up and videos. And what better place? What better place? Wait a minute, DJ. I'm making my announcements. I'm hanging up on DJ. I'll turn the phones back on when I'm done with my announcements. Jeez, Sally's rubbing off on me, as opposed to me rubbing off on Sallie. We have great shows here. We even have access to the little room here at Governor's, which is a nice little stage. It's a nice little room that holds about 60, although they are gonna be expanding that room soon. But either way, we have access to that room. So if you have a band or something that you need some space for, we can get some equipment in there and make it happen as well. So reach out to us through our Facebook page, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast Facebook page. Reach out to us there. Send us a message, and we'll get back to you and go over all the details and make it happen. So let me make sure that is all the announcements. Sally's doing well. As I told you guys the other day that she's doing well, but just to give you a little update, she saw the surgeon Monday night. Yeah, she saw the surgeon Monday night, first time since the surgery. The surgeon was amazed at how well she's doing after only a week. It was at like 9 or 10 days after the surgery, and he was amazed at how well she's doing. He was amazed how well her scar looked. She started PT yesterday, she's doing very well. Turns out we were wrong about something. I told you guys that her right arm was hurting because for the surgery they had her right arm up. We were wrong about that. They strapped her shoulders down, like just pushed them kind of down, so they had more access to the neck to do what they needed to do. So that's where the pain comes from, because it was pushed down for a few hours. And that's why she's in some pain. But they said it's going to go away. It's just a muscle thing. With PT and whatnot, it's going to be just fine. So she's slowly getting back to normal. She's still restricted a little bit, but she's getting around. She's doing well. And she is returning to this very room tonight. She will be engineering Serenity Soul Sisters. You won't see her. I don't think she even talks much on the show. But she'll be controlling all the nooks and crannies here at our studio tonight. So I'm pretty confident that means she'll be here with us on Monday, which I'm very excited about. And we have a guest on Monday, too, a comedian by the name of Jules, like jewelry, Jules. She's coming in Monday. She's a fairly new comedian. I got to get her story. Apparently, she got into comedy several years back, got out of it. Now she's trying to get back in, something like that. So we're going to talk to her on Monday. So we got a lot going on here. All right. DJ, I turn the phones back on. Let's see. What do we got? Hello, Kirsten. Nice to see you. Glad you're watching. Hello, Liz. Liz Batapede, are you coming tonight to see Modi? Because you're the one who won the 2 free tickets to see him tonight. You won that on our show the other day. So let me know if you want them. If not, I'll give them to somebody else. Let's see who else is here. Whoops. All right, Joan Asher's there. Good morning, Joan. All right, cool. All right, let's see. So one thing I wanted to talk about. We're waiting on Joe Pontillo. He's coming in around 11:30. Very funny guy. So, Liz is coming. All right, good. I will make sure that your name is on the list, and that's very cool. Modi's very funny. Great, really nice guy, too. Hello, Beansy. Nice to see you, pal. So one thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to brag a little bit. For yesterday. Wednesday's always a busy day for Sallie and me. We don't do the show, but because we do this show 4 days a week, plus we do green room most of the time. All right, I'll get back to this. I'll get back. Hold on. We have DJ D-Love. Whoops. You're live on the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show. Who's this?
It's your mama.
It's my mama?
Yo,
My mama's voice sounds very low.
I know it is.
Why is that? Why does my mother have such a low voice?
Don't know.
Don't know. Maybe it's your mama.
No, it's your mama.
What's for dinner tonight, mama?
Don't know what's for the name. I think it's got to be spaghetti and meatballs, I guess.
Spaghetti and meatballs. Are you cooking?
That's right.
Well, thank you, mama.
Make sure, Mr. Walker, you be home tonight before 6 o'clock tonight, or she'll be punished.
Yeah, I know I'm in trouble when mama refers to me as Mr. Walker.
That's right.
All right, mama, I will be home before 6. What if I have to work? Is that all right?
Nope, you got to be home before 6.
Wow. But it's dark out long before 6 now, so I can stay out in the dark?
Nope, you got to be home before 6.
Oh, all right. All right, mama. Thank you for the spaghetti and meatballs, mama. What would my punishment be if I'm late?
You would be grounded for a whole week.
Grounded for a week? How am I going to do the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast? How am I going to talk to DJ D-Love?
Don't ask me. You're going to be punished.
Well, you do the... all right, well, I'll do my best, mama, to not be late.
Well, guess what?
What?
I got you again, Tony. Again.
DJ D-Love, are you there with my mama?
Yep. I always get you, Tony, all the time.
You are one crazy son of a bitch, DJ D-Love.
All the time, I always get you. I don't know why, how I get you.
You're a master of many voices.
That's right. I always get you all the time.
Yes, you do. You excited? Your big audition is tomorrow?
I'm hoping, yes. I got to call him saying stuff like that, so I can't wait. It's going to be nice.
All right, very nice. Glad to hear it, and we'll be pulling for you.
Thanks very much. Very, very much.
Cool.
Can't wait. It's going to be nice.
Good. All right, you got a rap for us?
Actually, yes, I got a little rap for Sallie, actually.
Rap for Sallie? Is that what you said?
This is for Sallie, yes.
Wow. All right, go ahead.
Actually, a good one. It's a good one. It's not a bad one. This one is for Sallie. Here we go. Oh, Sallie, we all missed you. Oh, Sallie, come back. Oh, Sallie, come back to Gut Radio. We missed you so much. Oh, Sallie. Well, guess what? She the Knockem Dead Nazi. She the Knockem Dead Nazi. But we all miss her. She's the Nazi one with the phones. But guess what, though? We all miss her. Sallie, oh, Sallie. Oh, Sallie, Sallie, Sallie. Come back to us. We all miss you. But guess what, though? You're still a Nazi with the phones. But we love you. And we missed you. Love you, Sallie. That's it.
Well done, DJ D-Love. No doubt Sally's going to love that.
Oh, she's going to love it. I can't wait to play that for her.
Yep. I don't know if she's watching now, but if not, I will definitely make sure she hears it. Thank you, pal.
I'd like to say one thing, too, before I
Yep.
leave. I'd like to say, hello, Felix. Welcome back. I can't wait to see you again, buddy. We all missed you, Felix. Welcome back home. I can't wait to see you.
Yep.
We missed you, too, Felix.
Yep, absolutely.
And one more thing before I go, too. 3, 2, 1. See you later, sucker.
Suckers! Suckers! DJ D-Love checking in. Very nice. Nice little tribute to Sallie. Makes it all worth it. So as I was saying, I'm going to brag a little bit because, like I said, Wednesdays, we do this show. We're in here a lot, between our own show and working on the other shows that are here. We're busy. So Wednesdays is always our day of catch up, whether it's, whether it has something to do with here or, just, other stuff, personal stuff. So Wednesdays are always crazy. So yesterday was pretty nice day. It was in the lower 50s. So that was the day that I decided to go outside and put up the holiday lights, the Christmas lights. And I will tell you that I am not a handy guy. I'm a klutz. I'm always, you see this right here? You see that? Whoop, no, this way. There. See, I can't even figure that out. See that cut? See that cut on my hand? I got that cut on my hand just putting something on a shelf. Like here's the like I'm putting something on the bottom shelf here, and then this is the next shelf. I just and I'm freaking bleeding, and it looks like it's going to be a scar. That's how much of a klutz I am. So doing stuff around the house is definitely not one of my strong points. Yeah, I'm watching the screen on delay. I mean, you see how long it took me to figure out how to show you the cut on my hand? I mean, that's how ridiculous I am. So I've always tried. I've always tried to do stuff around the house, but I'm the guy that, drops everything and breaks it or puts I missed the nail and I hit my thumb or I just put a hole in the sheetrock. I'm the worst. So putting up Christmas lights is always quite the adventure. But it's nice to have kids because we use them for child labor. That's the only reason we have kids. So so as the kids get older, they help me more and more with that. I'll get back to this after this phone call. I don't know who it is. You're live on the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast. Who's this? Oh, hang on. Whoops. You there? Hello? Hello? Hello, hello. All right. If I screwed that up, call back. If you want to talk to me, try calling back because I may have sounded like the connection was still there, but I forgot to hit a button. All right. So yeah, as the kids getting older, they help me more, which is definitely a good thing. But but yesterday I decided to put the Christmas lights up. I did it all by myself. Mommy. And guess what? Not a single swear word, not a single kick, no aggravation. Not one. I took my time. It took me, I think, a little over 2 hours. Around 2 hours somewhere it took. And I did the whole thing without any help. I mean, you got to understand. I know it sounds silly. I did all by myself, but it is a little tough. I'm not looking for sympathy, but it is a little tough with the prosthetic to do certain things and like climbing ladders and stuff. And I did it yesterday even without a ladder. I just, I don't get crazy with the lights, but I like to put up some. And I have this little thing that plays music, and you can plug the lights into it, so only certain lights go off on certain beats and certain parts of the song. So it's all. Now, if I was able to do the whole house and really with this machine, man, that would be really cool. But yeah. So it and I haven't we have neighbors. So if we're looking at the house to our right, they have like a professional job. They have these companies now that come and put the lights up. That's what they got. Right across the street, facing our house. This guy didn't get professional, but it looks professional. This guy went all out. He was on his name is Steve. He was up on his roof. He did the whole, with that, with the, like the pipes, that the tracking that you put your lights on. So it's, it's all straight and perfect, and it's all over the house. It looks like a professional job. And then you see us with the mixed lights. A lot of people use like, white lights now. That's like the in thing now. But me, I have, the big giant bulbs from 30 years ago. I have the little colored ones. I have these little white ones. All these different lights that you just accumulate through the years instead of buying a whole new thing every year like some people do. So it looks like crap, but it works. Sallie was happy, which, it's all that matters. So I was all proud of myself. So I'm bragging today. You know what? I had applause for DJ. I'm going to have applause for me. Christmas lights, all by myself. Thank you. Thank you. Joe Beansy is very mean to DJ D Love. He's always commenting Like, give up already, he says. Goodness. Oh, and DJ says no. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Kirsten says her husband is the same. See, but I'm not a klutz with my hands when it matters. Kirsten puts up the lights now because it was so painful to watch him do it. All right, I don't know if I was that bad, although Sallie would probably say I was that bad. But that's funny. Joan says, Kirsten, I totally get it. Joan Nash says, not to mention all the rest breaks. Well, that's the thing. I took rest breaks yesterday when I was doing it. Because, if you're having a problem, instead of getting all mad, you just go sit down for a minute and relax. And that's the thing. I had a window of time. I had my day planned out. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to take care of this, take care of that. But I gave myself a window of time to do the lights. And I gave myself a lot of time because that I knew, all right, well, if things doesn't go well, I'm just going to go sit. We have some chairs in the front lawn. And again, it was a nice day yesterday. So all I did, it's not like I had to go in and take my jacket off and all that stuff. Because if I went in and took my jacket off, I wasn't going back out. So I just sat down out there, just relaxed. I had some water and I just took it easy. But nothing even happened that got me would even get me aggravated. It was just nice to know that I had time and I could just go at a good pace. I did at one point was putting lights up, and it was usually I'm very good about, okay, well, I got to plug this one into this one, and I got to make sure the plug, there's enough slack in the plug that I can plug it in the right place and that everything will reach the plugs. And I didn't do that yesterday. I just kind of threw everything up and, I plugged things into each other, but, to get power, I didn't really plan that out right. So I had to get, one or two extension cords and just make sure everything was plugged in. And everything would then lead to one set of outlets, which would then have the extension cord to the house, for power. But I figured that out rather quickly, and thank goodness I set things up good enough that it didn't take much to connect it all to get to one outlet that was connected to the house for power. So, but I did. I did sit down at one point, probably for a half hour, just sat there, went on my phone, had some water, just hung out. Sallie came out for a few minutes before she was running an errand, so she just sat there with me for a few minutes. And I just took my time, and it was good. And I thought about that. Like, I guess that's the thing, too, man. I'm getting old. I'm 51. And, you start, I don't know, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, 50 was the big number. We're like, oh, all right, things are going to start changing. And, you start thinking about soon, slowing down and not going to be able to do things the way you used to do them. So, and it hasn't happened to me yet. I still have the same energy and I think I still have the same strength, but it's in my head. So I was thinking to myself, all right, this is the way I'm going to have to do this from now on. Just make sure I have a lot of time, go nice and slow, and just take it easy. So it worked. It worked, and I'm proud of myself. So there you go. Tony, you get a pass for rest breaks. Thank you, Joan. Beansy, you need to post pictures of your lights. Let's see the job you did. I'm telling you right now, it's not a good job, but it's a job. Hey, Charles Goonan, do your Christmas decorations include the glowing people in the garden? Toy soldiers, Santas, nativity, etc. As a matter of fact, it does. I have a Joseph and a Mary and a baby Jesus. I've had, they're, like those big plastic things that have the light bulb inside, and the light bulb, only lasts like half a season, and then the cord that plugs in, that lasts maybe one season after you change the bulb. I think I used to have the whole nativity, but through the years it's pieces have broken, or I kicked them or threw them maybe. But I still have Jesus, Mary, Joseph, which is really the main components of a nativity. I don't know if it's ever been referred to that way. What are the main components of a nativity scene? But anyway, so yeah, I have those three. They don't light up anymore, so I put a little spotlight in front of them that shines, little green light. So yeah, I do have those, and I have a little Santa, that sticks in the ground with a little sign that says "Merry Christmas" and silly stuff. So yeah, Charles Goonan, thanks for watching this morning. Hope you're well. Everybody, check out Tune In with Goonan. Great show, very funny guy. Elizabeth, Tony, stop. I'm 10 years older than you. All right, so you don't. So Liz, you don't worry about that stuff. Are you really 10 years older than me? I never would have thought that, by the way. And yeah, all right. So yeah, you're right. You're very active. So all right, so good to know. Maybe I still got a lot of time before I have to start worrying about that stuff. I was just assuming. I don't know. All right, what do we got this week today? Still waiting on Joe Pontillo. He's 1 minute late according to my clock. No, actually, that clock is fast. The computer clock says 11:30, so he should be here right now. Ooh, did I just hear the door? Nope, I did not. All right. Charles Goonan, we had Frosty, Santa, and for some reason also the nativity with the damn camel and cow. Apparently Frosty can survive in the desert with the wise men. Well, Frosty was a wise man. A wise snowman. Wow, you had the whole nativity, huh? Are you a religious guy there, Charles? I guess your family was when you were growing up. But it's good to have Santa there. Santa should be at the nativity scene. He's everywhere. And, he should be bringing a toy to baby Jesus. Although I guess Santa didn't exist at the time. But all right. Liz says she has more energy than she had 10 years ago. Oh, yeah? And why is that? Are you taking drugs? Are you drinking? And how do you know that? How do you know you have more energy now? What are you doing? Let's see. All right, so I have a bunch of stuff actually to talk about, but I was waiting to see if Joe showed up. I guess I could always ask him again. Did you guys see that? Lots going on in the world this week. Charles Goonan, family Catholic. I'm atheist. I don't believe in Santa. Merry Christmas. Yeah, same here, Charles. I grew up in a very strict Catholic household. I lived with my grandmother, who was a very strong, devout Catholic. We were one of those families that had the statue of the Virgin Mary in the front yard, with that weird dome over her. If you grew up on Long Island, and I'm assuming anywhere, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That dome, and Mary was inside of it like this. we were that family. We had that statue in the front. So yeah, very Catholic. I'm not an atheist, but I don't really follow any organized religions anymore. Catholicism, to me, the Catholic Church went down the tubes. When I got married the second time, the Catholic Church told us they wouldn't recognize the marriage, being that my wife at the time and I were married once before, each. We were both, marrying each other. It was our second marriage for us both. And the Catholic Church said, well, no, we're not going to recognize this marriage. However, you give us like $1,000 and we'll take care of it. I was like, this is a business. I'm not doing this. Pissed me off. So, and then the whole pre-scandal, I was done. So, yeah. So, and Merry Christmas to you too, pal. Are you there? Oh. What's the matter?
You're alone?
Would you not have been here if you knew I was alone?
Yeah, of course. Why would I do that to myself? I need the banter of the other 5 people on this show.
The other 5 people. Joe Pontillo is here, ladies and gentlemen. He has arrived. He's taking off his jacket.
Well, at least I get the good seat.
That's right, the throne.
That's
the gaming
we're
chair.
live? Oh, I
yeah,
thought
baby,
we were
it's
gonna have
live.
Prep time? No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Do you need to go check your hair?
Let me tell you. I was beginning to think you were just deliberately doing things like you made your wife get surgery. You asked your son. Your son's okay, right?
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
fine. Oh, that was it. That's
Yeah.
right. It was the day of my son's accident. Right. He totaled the freaking car.
He was like, "Who's gonna be on the show today, Dad?" Joe Montillo. Crash.
or maybe he was so excited that he couldn't.
That too. Oh yeah, no, I didn't. That wasn't necessarily a negative thing. So yeah,
8:30 that morning, I get the call. Actually, I didn't even get the call. I have an app called Life 360.
Oh,
And you can check to see where
where
everybody
all your
is.
family members are.
The app notified me.
That's terrifying.
Yes, I was like, "What?" Actually, so
Car accident, son. Wait, what? Why did
it didn't even say son. It had his name.
Oh wow.
It said Zach was involved in a collision, and I didn't even see it first. Sally's sister saw it first, and then reached out to Sallie. Sallie then tells me, and I'm like, "What the?"
Yeah.
And then, like maybe 10 minutes later, he called me, and so there was no way I was getting here,
Right.
and especially with it totaled, and it was one of those where you wonder how the person walked away without a scratch.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well,
So my apologies to
yeah.
you,
You know what? It's fine.
but I'm glad you're here now.
I'm not, but but I'm glad you're glad. No,
And to make it worse, I was going to surprise you with McGinnis, and he flaked out on me about
he's a coward.
2 hours ago. He flaked on me. Yep.
In the well, I wasn't even awake to bail.
Well, he's got kids now.
I don't know
so-
if he has a car.
Oh.
So he would have needed to Uber or hitchhike, and nobody would want to pick him up. He's very large and terrifying
Yes. Yes.
on the side of the road. But that's okay. Well, you know what? Let's act like he is here.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and
Do you do a McGinnis impression?
welcome to what's this show that he does now? Like old trading cards. Yeah, today we're gonna open some new kids on the block. Trading cards. Why do I have these? We're not going to go into detail.
And he does it from under his stairs in his house. Have people have the stairs and a little closet underneath. That's where he's doing it from.
He
I
definitely-
thought this was small.
No, yeah. This is a studio. This is legit. You're on the top of the food chain compared to like 90% of comedians, which means you have all the wrong power, is what I'm saying.
absolutely,
You shouldn't have
yes.
this power.
You're absolutely right.
You
about
should
that.
be in a garage
Yes.
or a basement, but you've got this, so I would...
I don't know how that happened. But yeah, Brian can barely fit. He can barely fit in there, let alone anybody else.
It is a small... this, but yeah.
Well, yeah, here too, because he's so tall. So,
But,
So how are you, pal?
Me? Wow, so weird. I guess good, depending
Depending on what.
how you look at it.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, November was a kind of a weird month, I guess, but...
Something you want to tell us about or no?
Oh, I was just like sick on and off all month.
Oh.
But I don't, I don't care.
What does that mean you don't care? Like if you died, you wouldn't give a shit? You'd be like, all right, I'm ready, take me?
No. I just, people get sick now and they like freak out and you
Everything's
know.
COVID now.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I was like, this doesn't seem like COVID, so I'm just going to keep on going as if nothing's happening. So yeah, that happened, but all's well now. So.
And you don't think it was COVID?
At least partly not, no.
Partly not.
Well, it was like I was sick, then I stopped being sick, then I got sick again. So, yeah, so it was,
And
that
that
was
what-
like my whole month
Wow.
until like just before Thanksgiving, and then I finally was like, oh, okay.
And it just went, or you did something that you took medication or something?
I did, I did,
Well, that might help.
yeah, I just, sleep. That's just it,
Yes.
Like, I'm one of these people where, like, if I have, like, one or two things kind of wrong, but I don't sleep, like, I just get worse, and I'm like, why do I have a pain here? Why can't I, why do I see bats all the time? And then all of a sudden I have, like, one good night of sleep, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I do the same thing.
I feel like a person again. How did
Yep.
that happen?
That's exactly that's my go-to when I'm sick. I just go to bed and I try to sleep,
Right.
and that always works. Yeah.
I feel like I end up falling asleep on the couch a lot, sitting up, which is really stupid, and signs of a lot of problems. Because if I can fall asleep there, I can fall asleep anywhere. What next?
Right.
I fall asleep on stage?
That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, like just they laugh too long, and I just
well, hopefully,
it was
yeah.
a long applause break, and I just put my head down. You guys just.
Well, hopefully they're laughing that you can't fall asleep from the noise of laughter.
Well, it's weird because I'm always monitoring to see like what, as I get older, I'm like, what old person thing am I going to start doing? And I think it's falling asleep random places.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm only 38, but
What the 38? That's not old.
I know, but
Damn it.
I fell out of bed once, and I feel like that's how it starts. So, but it was a bed that was just a mattress on the floor, so it didn't really count.
Right. So,
It was a high mattress though, and I was like, I can't believe this happened.
The mattress is high, or you were high on the mattress?
Well, the mattress was high.
Oh, okay.
Like it was like a mattress on top of a mattress. I don't know, weird thing.
So you're living like a young person, just sleeping on a mattress.
Well, this was years ago. Yeah. No, now I have a bed. Yeah. This was a different.
So you were feeling old years ago when you fell off a mattress.
Well, I figured that would start the 40 to 50 year decline in my health. Because that's how it starts with every old person. They fall
much.
once, and they're like,
Right.
well, my knee hurt, and then before you knew it, my head exploded. I don't know.
My head exploded. Well, speaking of stage, how did it go? You opened for Eddie Brill a few weeks ago at the brokerage.
Oh, right. Yeah. I hadn't seen Eddie since pre-COVID, and even before that. Yeah, that was actually a really good show. It
Nice.
was a
He's great.
Saturday night. He is great. Yeah, it was a packed Saturday night at the brokerage,
Very nice.
which was very good. And it's so funny that I'm very friendly with Eddie Brill, who used to book Letterman. That
Right.
would have been helpful 10 years ago. But I met him in 2017. But we instantly hit it off because we have like the same kind of like storytelling vibe and, sense of humor.
Yeah.
When it comes to like comedy and situations, and,
You're one of those guys, and I talk about it often on here. I'll mention somebody like Mike Keegan is one of them too. Why you guys are not almost household
Don't
names.
insult me. Oh.
I'm not. No.
late.
Why you guys are
Too
here?
late, I'm on this podcast.
Why you guys are not bigger names? Because you guys are that funny.
Well, I don't know about Mike, but you know what? I used to get more frustrated about it, but now I realize because when I started doing comedy, there was no the internet was barely a thing.
Right.
Not to date myself that much, but the internet kind of changed everything and made comedy simultaneously bigger and more popular, but also filled with more terrible people.
Agreed.
So it really gutted up the works to an extent. And I used to just, because my theory used to be I'll just start doing comedy, and it's just like the old days where you'll just perform in New York City and somebody will see you and be like,
Right.
talent, and then you have a sitcom in 6 months. But that's not really how it works. And if it does work that way now, you've actually probably done something wrong.
Oh.
Because I just feel like a lot of what is quote unquote successful people in comedy now, a lot of them, they're kind of just products. And I think the way to do it now is you build your own audience, and then once you get to a point, if you get to that point, you can do whatever. That's kind of what I've been doing. That's why as terrible as COVID and shutdowns and comedy being illegal, I kind of think comedy was always illegal to an extent.
Some comedy, yeah.
And I think it should remain illegal. But the last 2 years for me have probably been, in a way, my two most successful years.
Oh, no kidding.
Just because I've just grown, social media-wise, and honestly, not doing comedy that much for a year was kind of great. At first I was like, am I even going to perform again? And then, Zoom shows and Instagram shows started happening. And then we were doing comedy on rooftops and, behind dumpsters,
Yep.
which isn't much different than what my career was before COVID. But yeah, now that I took some time kind of away from it, now everything feels fresher, because comedy's very cyclical.
Yeah.
It's you chase to get on this gig, and then you do the gig, and then you do it, and then you just gotta get back on it, and nothing really cool. Now it's who cares? Let's just see what comes my way. So I feel like I'm in a much better, not that I'm close to being famous or anything, but I feel like I've people now know, like, oh, okay. And I made sketches and all this stuff, so, which is also where it's at. Like, performing comedy is great and all, but, you only get, like, so much fan-wise out of that.
But it's weird now, and we've talked about it a few times on this show here, because now you got these people making skits on YouTube or posting it wherever they're posting it, and that seems to be the thing now. Like you said, it used to be going to the city and somebody will see you. Now it's who's popular on YouTube.
Right.
And these guys are making great videos. In fact, you make a lot of great videos, but at least you are a comedian. Where a lot of these guys are making videos, they get booked.
They're just normies.
They're just regular guys making videos, and all of a sudden they're making appearances at comedy clubs, and they have no idea.
I know, and it's kind of terrifying. And the business is set up in a way that, like, oh, who cares if they're terrible as long as they pack the room. So you kind of, like, I guess I'm fortunate that I know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, but at the same time, maybe I needed like a 5-year head start, because I just used to just be like, if I would just do comedy every night, I'll just get really good, and then who knows. But looking back, I'm like, oh, I kind of could have just had a social life. I just did comedy sometimes,
Right.
but well.
But you're a film major, right? That was your thing.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. I tried to block that out. Yeah, wow. I did, film. I started in TV, actually, but, like, all the stuff in college was just, learning, like, things about television. Like, I didn't need to know. Like, it's good to know, but I was like, ugh. And then I, like, halfway through, I'm like, I'm just going to go to film, because they just sit around and film stuff all day. And then I had to drama minor, so that was weird.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it was cool, so...
I've only seen you in comedic stuff, so I'm trying to picture.
Oh
now
no, not like I actually did anything dramatic.
You didn't do a Hamlet or something.
I'm trying to remember. I do.
Phone call.
Oh,
I
who's
don't-
calling?
I don't know if
Is this my dad?
most likely it's going to be like a marketing thing, but we'll see.
Wow, what kind of...
Oh, I didn't mean that.
That's great.
Who's this?
That's the type of crowd I draw.
Yeah, see, there's nobody there.
Is it Brian?
Oh.
Brian McGinnis?
Hello. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. All right.
That's not even for the show. That's just somebody pranking the club.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You're live with Joe Pontillo. Please don't hang up. Okay, yeah, we'll both extend our warranties. You want to get in on that?
So, that's what we're hearing. Hello. So
I just want to know what you were doing for an hour before I got here.
I was just
Crying on air.
I just sat here.
Where is everybody?
This is it, man. This is it. During the day, it's just me and Sallie. But Sallie had the surgery.
Oh, okay.
She had a car accident of her own. So, so she had surgery. So
You got to keep an eye on you guys.
I know. It's
Can I be added to
crazy.
your family alert thing? Just
If you want to be in a car accident, sure.
I'd like to be first on the scene for the next one.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe I'll just book you more often, and then we'll have more accidents.
Jesus.
You're welcome anytime in here.
Oh yeah.
I would actually love that. I've asked you so many times to come in.
I was supposed to do it, I think, like the week after like the shutdown happened. And I feel like we were still maybe going to do it. And then like at the last minute, they were like, no, we're actually not letting people in the club.
Yep.
So, yeah, I was booked on like several radio shows and podcasts like for late March 2020. And all of them canceled. And I remember making a joke about it like 2 months in advance. Like, not to brag, but I'm booked on like 5 podcasts in March. And none of them happened.
I hear you.
Counting this one, though. This was the rebook for March 2020.
Well, yeah, and then I was the last one to perform at the brokerage.
That's why.
And then the shutdown was the very next day. So I'm still hearing it. They're calling me the Corona of comedy. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Joe Pontillo. Excuse me. Charles Goonan. Joe is the new authority on Spotify and Twitter.
Yes.
Adam Snare says Pontillogram.
I think I've always been the authority on Spotify and Twitter.
Charles says Tony's show is not a podcast; it's internet radio.
Thank you.
Well, that's I was recently on Tune In with Goonin, where the plot was he comes in here to do a show and he called it a podcast, and I had to flip out. It's not a podcast. Johnny Lambros, I'm a born and raised Roman Catholic. The collection plate at my church collects money.
And Adam Snare is a decent guy. I don't know who told you otherwise.
Did I say someone told me otherwise? Adam Snare is all right. Yeah, I missed him. He was supposed to come back and visit about a month ago, and he didn't. He ended up not coming.
Would you come back to New York? I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. See, I love it here.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, good. I do. I love it.
I mean, I'm from here, and I'll always enjoy being here. But like the way comedy's been, like post-COVID, like I almost enjoy not performing in more New York City. I feel like when I do Long Island, or I haven't really done anything upstate, but it's less annoying. But New York City now is just like, oh, what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, you're talking about the city itself, but what's it
Yeah.
like in the clubs?
That's very abusive. Lots of yelling.
Wasn't that always the case?
Oh yeah, so I guess nothing's really changed. Well, you know what it is, like unless you're like at the top end of like comedians in New York City, like you're mostly like working up. That's probably Comedy Cellar telling me I'm banned.
Please don't come
You're
back.
mostly working for free or drink tickets or high fives.
You're live on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Tony, it's Johnny Lambros. How are you?
Hello, Johnny Lambros.
Johnny Lambros!
Roman Catholic.
I actually hit send on that without including what I meant to include to that statement, hence why I'm making the phone call right now.
Uh-oh.
I know there's plenty of people out there who think, and this isn't me doing a joke or anything, I'm just clearing something up here. There's a lot of people who think, the church just takes your money and stuff like that. The church I go to, with the collection plate at my church, the money goes to homeless programs, like helping out the homeless and helping out battered women's shelters and, things of that nature. So it's not complete bullshit. The money actually does go to, rightful places. But I can understand some people looking at that and thinking, who knows where that money's going to.
My
It's probably
church just took all the donations and put them towards a new Pope hat.
Well, yeah, you can't expect them to say the same hat passing to each guy, right?
I think they should. I think they should be part of
Yeah.
the tradition. Oh, and to buy that stuff that they use for the smoke to let people know.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it. They didn't help anybody.
Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. I actually didn't even realize I hit send. I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of stuff here, and I saw you read the comment. I was like, oh, I meant to finish that.
Oh, I thought people just like to send you messages letting them know their religious denomination.
No, we
for
were,
no reason
we were
at
talking about religions before you got here. That's one of the things we were
Hey,
talking
I'm
about. So.
blah, 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 Weinstein. I'm Jewish. Just want to let you know. Love the show.
Case
Why?
anybody's
What is
wondering.
happening?
We were talking about putting up Christmas lights.
Oh.
And then Goonan asked if I have, the nativity scene, which I only have Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. But then Charles was saying he's got the whole nativity scene. And then he said he's atheist. And then it just kind of went
But
from
he just
there.
likes how it looks aesthetically.
Well, I think he was talking about when he was a kid.
Ah.
But now, as an adult, he's atheist. And then it just kind of went from
Well,
there.
let me tell you,
Tell me.
Italians have to have 5 different versions of the nativity scene.
Yes.
Italians over-decorate for Christmas, I think, because they feel guilty about what happened to Jesus. They were kind of involved.
They were.
We don't get enough blame for that. And I don't know if everybody's family does this, but my family, you can't put Jesus out. You can't see him.
Christmas Eve, you got to
Until
put him
Christmas,
out.
it's
Yep.
very silly.
Right.
They cover him with a tissue under the tree, and then whoosh, it's like a magic trick.
Oh, is that what you guys did? See, we kept them in the box. And then Christmas Eve, we took them out of the box.
That's what they do with the light up nativity scene on the front lawn. You
Yep.
know. That's how, light up.
Right.
And, it came with 2 sheep. Yeah, they have the whole thing. It's great.
Right.
It's very funny. It was the 3 wise men, and that's it.
And then some people add Santa Claus.
Yeah, actually, it's Santa, the Easter Bunny.
Oh, nice.
A leprechaun, several dead presidents
Oh, that's a good idea.
from the 19th century.
Right, so they were close. Close, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Just to show what happened after.
Right.
And then also we project the Hindenburg disaster.
It's a good idea. It all makes sense. And but we always
Spirit of Christmas. Keep
right.
Hindenburg and Christmas.
And we threw a little John Lennon statue in there too. We
okay,
added him
nice.
too.
That's very respectful.
That's fancy.
Oh, he's still on. Oh.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you clarifying.
Thanks, Tony. Bye.
See you, buddy. I thought for sure Johnny Lambros was hitting us with some kind of weird joke because he's like that.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Johnny?
I feel like I know the name.
Oh, all right. The way you yelled it out when he first said who
John,
it was.
I'm just being excited that people are calling in.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that's what you do. I'm a showman.
Adam Snare says Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and Wayne. That's a Rich Walker classic bit. Oh.
Well, he only has one.
Joe is right. 20-piece nativity pieces: lamb, cow, 3 wise men, shepherd, star. Oh, we forgot about the star. Yep, she's right.
There's an
Thank you,
angel in there somewhere.
Yes.
You know.
Yep.
A snowman. Even though that makes no sense because they were in the desert. But.
Yeah, somebody said that before. You know, you can't throw Frosty in there because he's not in the desert.
No, it wouldn't work. And like fact checkers will just come to your house and be like, "This is wrong."
Mm-hmm. They do that.
Remember the big ones? I don't know if you could get them anymore. The big nativity scenes for the lawn, like they would come with like a camel and a donkey and
Just had to feed them.
a 1977 Oldsmobile.
It's true.
Yeah, so the wise men showed up. This is a place.
Very nice. So, what are your holiday plans?
You know, I don't even actually know at this point. My friends tried to do. We used to do this yearly get together called Hatemas. It fell up. But like my friend who does it moved upstate now, and everybody has kids except me and my wife. So we just.
I'd be full of hate though too if I was upstate.
Upstate is nice. I don't know if I can live there. But
That's what I mean.
I like visiting there. I'm actually
Right. It's nice. Yeah, I love visiting and hanging out, but
Yeah,
to live there,
it's
I go
safer.
nuts.
Yeah, because everybody who previously lived there and is still there, they're kind of terrifying, and
Right.
and like everybody, I don't want to live any place where I have to say something like, "I need to go into town." Like what?
Agreed.
Yeah, town could be like 50 miles away. Also, like I go upstate to this place and everybody waves to you for some reason. And it's like you assume everyone's going to do it, so then you get in the zone where you start waving to people, but then every once in a while you get the person that doesn't wave or they're not making eye contact, so you just wave and they're not looking at you and you're like, "Oh." That's weird. I can't live in a place where everybody's waving all the time.
I used to really like that. I used to have family in Ohio, and I used to go out there. And same thing. You're walking down the street in town, and not only are they waving, but if you're walking, "Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you." Oh, hi. Yeah. And I got used to it that I started doing it here, and same thing. I'd be like, "Hey, hi."
Yeah, but here they're like, "Shut the f-.
Yeah. Or you just get a face.
Get lost, buddy."
The face is enough. That's all I need, and I'm scared.
Right.
So, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, like I live in Brooklyn now. And,
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and like
You came all the way here today from Brooklyn?
Yeah, I got stuff to do though. Didn't take me that long to get here.
I had no idea.
Yeah. You see what you put me? If I could get here from Brooklyn, Brian McGinnis could get here from Massapequa.
That's right.
Cripes. So
Moved from
what was I gonna
Brooklyn
say?
to
So yeah,
Massapequa.
my neighbors on the left. New people literally live there every 3 months. It's great. I never have to get to know anybody.
Oh, that's nice.
And then the person on the right overheard me filming something one day, got terrified, and then yelled at me because I was shoveling snow the wrong way. So I don't really talk to them either. So I don't ever have to say hi to anybody.
All right, what were you
great.
filming that terrified them?
This was many years ago. I was filming a sketch called Raptors Night Out. It was about 2 velociraptors that go out and party, and then they end up getting a girl, bring her back to their place, and a cop overhears, like, "Rah!" like shrieks coming, and then busts in, and then the raptor attacks the cop and rips him to shreds. And turns out the girl's fine. She was just like in the bathroom. But the shrieking, we had the window open, so they heard, and they were just like, "What is going on? Is everyone okay? I'm calling the police."
Oh, that would be awesome.
So we
Yes,
were like,
please
oh
call the
no, we have to not shriek as loud on the next take.
But I love that. I'll just yell over because that'll save somebody from getting murdered.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing there? Stop that.
And it's so funny because here's one big difference between living in Brooklyn and living on Long Island. Like, I would film stuff on Long Island all the time. Like, we'd be outside doing something, and somebody one time pulled by and was like, hey, is that a real gun? And we're like, no. And they just went, we're calling the cops. And they drove away. We were like, what the hell was that?
Jeez.
In Brooklyn, you could walk around with a camera crew, weapons. Nobody cares. If you have a camera, they're like, they're just filming something. It's a very easy way to get away with crime.
I was about to say, so let's go rob a bank. We'll just bring a camera and we're good.
Oh, they're filming. That's okay.
It's a scene from something. But you're right. We did that one of our murder mysteries on Long Island. We were performing in a restaurant with a private room, and we thought we would be funny because the private room had 2 exits. So me and another guy, we had guns. We were doing a mafia show, a mobster thing. We ran out of one exit. We, went in, came in the other way. So we had to run through the restaurant to get to the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even think about it, but we had these guns. So sure enough, we freaked a couple people out. We had to go back and show them, look, it's a fake gun. We were doing a murder mystery.
But see, one time was filming a zombie movie in Garden City, and we literally shut down a street. Nobody, well, actually, somebody we knew lived
without permission.
Without permission.
Nice.
We had stolen, we built a barricade, but we stole, the stand that the barricade goes on. So we only shut off half the street, people could pass if they really had to. But we filmed in front of a house that was being built, so I think that's why we partially got away with it. But we had 20 people all around the barricade. 2 of us had guns, big guns. I had a shotgun. My friend had what looked like an AK-47, but it was something like that. Nobody showed up. Nobody, even from the neighborhood, was like, "Hey, are you supposed to be doing this?"
Right.
Totally got away with that one.
Nice.
But then I tried to film something in Valley Stream Park, and code enforcement or whatever the hell came up, and they were like, "What are you guys doing here? You can't film. You need a permit. You need this. You need to go to Village Hall and get insurance." And I was like, okay. And then I went to Village Hall, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just go get insurance." And you had to get an insurance thing for up to $2 million or something.
My goodness.
And I was like, "What do you think I'm filming there?"
I'm surprised you actually took the time to go to the town hall. I just would have found another place.
Well, you know what? I like to pretend to go by the law, but then I was like, screw this, I'll just do this guerrilla style. And then we just came back and we're like, we just have to do this quick. And we would see the code enforcement or the park avenger, whatever the hell, driving around, and we're like, oh, pretend like we're not filming. And we put the camera away and then brought it back out again. And we got away with it.
There's no messing around in Valley Stream.
It's like they're deliberately trying to crush the independent film industry.
Exactly.
I've
heard
always
that about
felt.
them. Yes.
That's where I'm from, Valley Stream. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I wouldn't just pick a random town like that, but you know what? Valley Stream is interesting because I ran a show there for many years, and so if I go to King Cullen or walk down the street, people recognize me. It's kind of insane.
You and Buscemi.
Yeah, except I don't think anybody would recognize him. Weirdly. They've seen me more recently. Nice. You go to, I'm cashing my change in at King Cullen, and somebody's like, "Hey, didn't you used to do the comedy show and sip this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't like to talk about it." I'm just being a regular person right now who's desperately trying to cash in my change so I can have money for 3 more days.
So you didn't try that at the Village Hall? Say, hey, I run the comedy nights here. You guys give me the
this was 8-9 years ago, so I wasn't arrogant enough yet. Now I'd be like, first of all, here's my card. You see that? Comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where I've done shows? In this freaking town.
I've opened for Eddie freaking Brill.
You're messing Jim Brewer. I went to school with his niece and nephew. Okay,
exactly.
We're practically friends. So don't mess with me.
Is it like that in Valley Stream? Do people all claim to know or have some kind of connection to Jim Brewer, like us in Hicksville have a connection to Billy Joel? There's a lot of that in Hicksville.
Good question. No, it's not.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
It's like that old.
I'm trying to think if there is somebody that anybody cares enough about to be like, oh yeah, Valley Stream. You're more likely to hear somebody say they filmed Goodfellas here, kinda. So
it's even here people because they filmed part of The Godfather by the Coliseum, So sometimes you'll hear it here. You know, they filmed the scene from Godfather right down the road. Okay.
You know where they filmed the scene from Godfather? Right on the Southern State Parkway in Valley Stream, because there used to be a toll booth when you'd get off either the Cross Island or the Belt Parkway. That's where Sonny gets shot.
Oh, that's where it is. See, that's the
Yeah.
exact scene that people are saying happened over there by the college, by Nassau Community.
There's a lot of fighting about it, but
There
yeah,
is,
no, it
yes.
happened right there. Imagine that. You used to have to pay a toll to come on Long Island. No one would come here.
Right.
Why? It's bad enough coming here. Now you have to pay a toll.
But I'm actually surprised they don't bring that back, because everything else costs, a ton of money. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, yeah, but the line backed up from the Cross Island Parkway or the Belt Parkway would go all the way to Staten Island and the Bronx.
But it almost does as it is now.
Right, like paying a toll to go to Atlantic Beach. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
I don't think so. I waited at the toll booth, and I was trying to use my Easy Pass, but they don't accept Easy Pass. And I kept thinking, like, a cop or somebody was going to walk over and be like, what's your problem? Nobody came, and I was like, screw this, and I backed out. I was like, I'll go the other way. So I drove all the way, to the Long Beach Bridge.
Oh, my goodness.
And went in the back way.
But that probably set you back, a half hour almost, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I had to text the guy who was running the show and be like, I'm going to be a little late because I couldn't get through the toll booth. And I took a stand. So
Good for you.
Yeah.
And speaking of
Fighting the power.
fighting the man, speaking of guns on movie scenes, what's your take on this Alec Baldwin thing?
I'm against it.
Well, apparently and I don't know what channel, but apparently he's going to be on TV tonight. He did an interview where he's going to talk about this whole thing. And apparently a preview came out. Baldwin addresses the fact that he was holding a gun that was somehow loaded with a live bullet that should not have been on the set at all, let alone in an actor's hand.
It was actually a live bullet. It wasn't just
Yes.
like an accidental.
No, it wasn't a
the
blank.
Oh, wow.
It was a real bullet. But during the preview, which is heavily edited for purpose of teasing the larger audience that's set to air tonight, an emotional Baldwin states unequivocally that he did not pull the trigger. So now he's throwing a whole new wrench into this thing.
My character didn't even hold a gun in the movie.
I wouldn't carry a gun. The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't even pull the trigger, he tells George Stephanopoulos. Oh, so it must be ABC. He adds, no.
Well,
That's what he
that
added.
means he means it.
I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger. Never.
I don't know how to explain this. They were finger guns. That's the crazy part.
Pew. The FBI is involved. They're waiting results, which would shine light on how the gun could have been fired, whether that was just pulling back the hammer, which hits the firing pin, just pulling the trigger, or both. Pulling back the hammer, which gets the pin. Okay. But a weapons armorer told Fox News that firing a revolver like the one Baldwin was reported to be holding without pulling the trigger would be rare. Imagine Alec Baldwin gets nailed for murder.
It's kind of the most appropriate way his career could end. If you think about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Because he's like attacked people. He had that like insane voicemail where he was like screaming at his daughter.
His daughter calling her a pig.
He's such a weird person because he's a great actor. Like when he comes, he's a okay actor.
He's a known actor.
And he's very like I watched the Talking Sopranos podcast and he was on an episode and he was actually really good.
Oh, yeah?
But then
Why was he on it?
because they do these like celebrity episodes because I guess they couldn't get enough people from the show to do it. So it was like him, Ricky Gervais, and Pete Davidson. I'm like, who wants to hear him talk?
Not me.
And yeah, exactly. Here's what I'm dating now.
Then she breaks up with him during the podcast and he starts to cry.
Yeah, almost immediately.
I saw Alec Baldwin interview Billy Joel once and he was awful.
Well, I wouldn't have him interviewing somebody.
Right,
I think
yeah.
he's a good guest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now it's so weird because now, he killed somebody.
Did you see a few weeks ago, I guess the paparazzi's been hounding him, so he's driving down some road.
Hey, Alec, you shoot anybody recently?
We're going to shoot with the camera.
Get it?
So he pulls over and he's with his wife. And he goes up to the paparazzi and he says, look,
Oh, right, and she's an asshole.
Well, right, but then he starts yelling at her. She's trying to yell, and he turns because he's talking to these guys, and he goes, "Look," he goes, "I'll answer a few questions if you promise to leave me alone the rest of the day." But then she comes in and she starts like getting on them. You guys, he turns and goes, excuse me, I'm talking here. Like, this is his wife he's talking to like this. He's like, this guy's a jackass.
Yeah, he's a maniac. But then again, maybe it's just family he's a maniac with. Although I do feel like he beat somebody up over a parking spot or something.
Yeah, there was something weird like that,
Which
too,
is weird
yeah.
because on the one hand, like, Alec Baldwin is like the most real celebrity because he's just like this douchebag from Long Island with like 6 brothers. And they're all kind of douchebags, but he's like the most douchiest, but he's also the most successful. You know, it's like if the Baldwins, instead of acting, decided to be like, you know, aluminum siding guys. It's like, yeah, Danny and Billy, they do the work, and then Alec shows up and just screams at them, and then like just punches the house. You did it wrong. Like, that's right. That's what should have happened. Like, none of them should be actors.
Agreed.
They should just be doing aluminum siding or like scrap metal guys. I don't know. They'd be so much. It would just be so much more on brand. I don't know how it ended up. How does an entire family act? Like, that's so insane. Like,
It's like the Osmond brothers. Remember, they even threw like the one brother who was deaf. They even threw him into the act.
right. Like,
He's not singing.
Like, I have a cousin that does comedy. Like, that's one Pontillo is enough. In
Exactly.
comedy.
Vinny Pontillo, get out of here.
Yeah, we'll call him Vinny for the purposes of this show.
Oh, we
This internet radio show.
Do you really have a cousin that does comedy?
I do.
Oh, I thought you were just making a joke.
Constantly have people asking me about it, and they're like, "Do you know James Pontillo?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's my cousin."
Oh,
You know?
well, I've never heard of him. So there.
Oh, he won't be around here. He's not allowed.
Right,
No, I'm
exactly.
kidding, but-
You have the Pontillo. This is your turf.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
bad
Gallagher
enough I don't
brothers.
get booked here. We don't need 2 Pontillos now.
Like the Gallagher brothers. Remember, Gallagher hired his brother to
I
cover
feel
some
like
of his
that'll be
original-
the end result of our relationship too.
Yeah.
You know, like one of us is gonna steal the other one's act. All of a sudden, it involves like destroying things with a hammer on stage. Not food though. Like, I think we should destroy like famous artifacts. Like, oh, this was it's a vase that was uncovered from a pyramid in ancient Egypt. Goodbye.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So
I hate like auctions and stuff. Like people,
Disgusting.
they have so much money to waste that they just want to buy a check written by John Wayne for like $3 million.
Oh,
or
that's
something,
so
you know?
insane.
I
Like,
hate
you know,
that
this
stuff.
was the toilet that
Elvis died in.
Elvis died on. Oh my, that's probably worth a lot of money.
It probably is.
You know what? I'm kind of into that.
You would like Elvis's toilet? I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Or like his last meal. They probably preserved his last meal.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I saw something online one time that like some guy held on to a sandwich that like Richard Nixon ordered in like the 60s.
Really?
Yeah. Not because he bought it at an auction, just because Richard Nixon told him to hold it. He'd be back for it, and he never
Oh,
did.
he's still waiting?
Yeah. He's coming back.
So when he dies,
That's
he'll
my
take the
favorite
sandwich with him.
conspiracy, that Richard Nixon is still alive, and he's going to come back for that sandwich one day.
I met Richard Nixon once.
Really?
True story, and I swear to God this is true, and I think I may have told it here once before.
He died in like 1994.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or maybe 95, whatever.
I was
It
at a
the
Met.
90s.
I was at a Met game, and after the game, I'm walking outside Shea Stadium, and there was a Mercedes parked right up, as close as you can get to the stadium, and there were security around it. There had to be like 10 guys in a circle around this car,
And he rolled down the window and he went, "Let's go, Mets go."
just like that.
Was it 1986?
This was I think around late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, okay.
There was something like that.
He was mad he wasn't included in that video.
Probably.
But Joe Piscopo was. Come on.
Mayor Ed Koch made it.
Ed Koch, he was awesome. He was in the Muppet movie. He was a judge. Remember he had a judge? He
Yep.
was like yeah.
So I swear to God this is true. I walk up to the car. I see it's him. I walked in between the Secret Service. I went right up to the window. And I just knocked. And he looked at me and he just kind of did one of these. And I went on my
It
merry
wasn't
way.
more like... Or he blew in the window and he wrote in the fog, like, "Please help. I'm being held against my will."
It did make me wonder years later, like, why no one stopped me. I wonder if maybe he was expecting a 20-year-old like to join him or something. It made me kind of wonder.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In those days, I feel like people just didn't care. Like you could just like walk up to famous people. Also, he had been impeached, so they were probably just like, "Oh, somebody actually wants to see him. Oh, just go, please."
Maybe I'm just.
He needs
not
all the
threatening
support he
looking,
can get.
They just knew. They could tell from my aura that I came in peace.
Were you doing finger guns? He's got a gun.
Let's see what's going on here. People say, "Hey, is that Jerry Seinfeld?" What? That's what I get for reading comments minutes later. Joe, you went to my Valley Stream Central High School? This is from Joan Asher. I was there a million years before you. It's changed a lot, I hear.
What's that supposed to mean?
Elizabeth Batterpete says, yes. Alec Baldwin tonight on ABC at 8 o'clock. James Thompson, Matt Stone and Trey Parker from South Park did it best when they killed off the entire Baldwin clan with a missile attack. I didn't see that.
That's great.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, it's always funny when I sometimes mention something about Valley Stream on stage, and then people come up to me afterwards, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what class were you?" And I'm like, 2001, and they're like, "What?" Because like
you're a baby,
right? And I'm at the same time, I'm like, I'm not.
Wow, 2001. So how long have you been doing comedy? Right out of school?
No, I started in like 04, 05.
All right, so that's almost right out of school.
Whatever. Yeah, I was in college when I started.
Because I think that was the first time I saw you. I think that was around 4 or 5.
No, God.
What was it? What was the name of that place, in Massapequa? Little restaurant.
Oh,
Sal's.
Sal's, yeah.
Right? So
which was run by Brian McGinnis.
It was.
Who's too good for this show.
Yep. Son of a bitch.
Hate him.
So do I have my timeline right? Would that be around the time you were there?
I'm trying to think when he ran that show. That was like maybe 07, 08
Oh, was
or
it?
something.
Okay.
Maybe even 06, actually. Actually, it might have been 06, now that I think about it.
Jeez, that's still... What are we talking, like...
06 is when I really started to do comedy, like, seriously. Like, 04, 05, I was doing it, like, once a month. Not really.
Wow, man. That blows, I'm constantly blown away how fast time goes, man.
04, 05 is when I was... burning all my friends out by doing 9 Million Bringer shows. And then when I started doing more legit shows, they were like, I'm out of money now. I have a job.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've never done a Bringer show, but for that reason, I can't ask people to freaking pay.
I didn't know any better. I can't believe, and I hate how naive I was that I would just be like, oh, yeah, I could do that night. You want me to bring how many people? Sounds great. Like, why didn't I at any point be like, the hell am I doing?
Mm-hmm. And what did you do? You were just constantly on the phone? Yeah, I'm playing Saturday night. You want to come see me?
I had one friend. Here's how it started. I had one friend who at the time loved to like trick other people into spending money. So he'd be like, hey, Joe's doing comedy tonight. Come on. Blah, 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 blah. So I got away with that for like a year, and then he vanished and became a psychopath. Oh. No. And then my dad... I didn't tell my family right away that I was doing comedy because, how do you explain that? So then my dad found out, and he started coming to my shows, and he saw that I was funny, and he's like, So
I was going to say, because that was your dad I met at White Post Farms in
Oh,
October.
yeah, sorry about that. That was really traumatizing.
What do you mean? I thought he was very supportive of you. And
See, this is what I'm talking about. I go to a place with my family, and I got to see Tony, doing a dance in a cowboy hat, and he has hay in his mouth. Hey, guys, I'm Topple of Government Tony, whatever the hell your name was. I don't know.
I'm Farmer Willie.
That's your name, Farmer Willie?
Farmer Willie, yes.
Oh, okay. Because when, like, Rich Walker and Chris Roach did it, they were like...
Well, yeah, he was Rodeo Ricky.
Rodeo Ricky. Oh, okay.
But that was... See, now... But Walker, he had the show. I wasn't a part of that. I'm the festival host.
Yeah, you're like wrangling people who don't want to be wrangled.
Pretty much, yes. I'm doing crowd work for 8 hours.
And like, my family was so confused because they were like, wait a second, you know someone here? I'm like, yeah, it's a long story. I actually got asked to do something. I think Rich Walker asked me one year. He was like, could you... I forget what it was. I think he wanted me to be like the doorman at some like haunted mansion thing that they have there.
Yeah, well, he does that. Gateway Playhouse out east, he does the haunted
is that
thing.
what it was? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But I had a gig already, so I was like, no, but thanks for asking. I wouldn't mind doing that for like a day or two.
Scaring people? Sure.
No, or just like something, maybe not what you were doing, but just, being the guy who wrangles the giraffe. or whatever. Yeah,
Jumpin'
they're
Joe.
all about that giraffe at White Post Farms,
Yes.
and I feel like it wasn't even there. They take it out on Saturday.
Well, he wasn't there that day?
We didn't see him.
Really?
Yeah, we were very excited. That was the main reason we came.
You sure you didn't just walk by him?
No, I think I would have noticed the giraffe. But if you go to like White Post Farms Instagram or fan page or whatever, they're all about like giraffe. We have a giraffe.
Yep.
We're really excited about this giraffe, and then the giraffe wasn't available that day. So.
Oh, I don't remember that.
But there were plenty of other cool animals. I went in the bird thing, and
Those birds will shit all over you, though.
I couldn't get them off me.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's go. You're coming on with
The
me.
camels. I like the camels because you pull out the camera to take a selfie, they come right over. I got so many selfies with these damn camels.
It's amazing, and we treat them so poorly.
Yeah, I don't know what they do there, but
You know, and then they came up with Hump Day, Wednesday. That's about camels. I don't know if you know that.
I did.
And they
yeah.
get no money for that. It's like comedians and Spotify.
Exactly.
Disgusting.
All right, we're gonna play. Oh, you know what? I have a. Oh, I was gonna.
I
All
gotta
right,
go. What?
Well, yeah, it is almost time
No,
actually
I'm
for us to
joking.
go.
Why? Who's after us?
There is actually that's true. There's nobody after us. I had a personal question for you
No.
because I'm doing research on. I like to do research when people are coming in. So
And you've had plenty of time because I was supposed to be on like for the last
2
month.
years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago even. Jeez.
So I have a question about your mom and your grandparents. No, I on your Facebook, you hit the about, and it lists all the stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It says in an open relationship. So I don't know.
Which is a funny conversation.
should
that
I be shaking
keep
your hand?
having.
Or are you my hero? What is that about? Or
Well, I'll say this. First of all, everything on that is, no. I did that years ago
I figured,
as a joke.
yes.
I think it even says that I'm interested in men and women.
Oh.
And I don't necessarily mean sexually, but I'd love to meet some guys and maybe trade some Bitcoin or something.
Oh, all right, that's cool.
Or do podcasts like that. Open relationship. So, okay, that when I put that there, it wasn't serious. It was, so my girlfriend was on Facebook. We got married. She left Facebook because Facebook is terrible. And in the time she was gone, I was like, well, I'm in an open relationship now as a joke, not serious. And then she came back, but we've just not decided. We just like, it's weird if we're like, oh, now we're married, because then people get notified and
Right.
we'll get likes that we don't deserve. So we're just.
Don't deserve?
Yeah.
That's not true, Joe.
So the long answer is yes, that is true, but it's not true. It wasn't true per se when I put it up because I just put it up to be a goofball.
Right.
But there is maybe some truth. I don't know.
When did you get married?
2012?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
no-
But we're not even like, we don't-
Friends.
We're not even friends. No, we're more friends than we are husband and wife. We don't. It's like we didn't. Yeah. Sometimes, like if I do jokes, like sometimes it's my girlfriend, sometimes it's my wife, sometimes I don't have anybody. It just it all depends.
Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. So people get confused all the time, and they're like, "Are you married?" I'm like, "It depends."
That's fine. Leave them confused. Leave them think that's how they remember you.
Yeah, like I always, and this is a joke I've tried to do on stage, and like I don't do married jokes because every comic you see in their 40s or 50s, their entire act is like, who sucks? My wife. Am I right? And the crowd is like, yeah. Even the women in the crowd are like, yeah, I do suck. And you're like, what is going on? So I don't know. I feel like if I like to talk about like if it's something where like she's in on the joke or
Right.
something silly. Or we seem cool, but like so many other things to talk about and ridicule. Like
That's like Joey Petroni, though. Like, there's so much You know Joey Petroni?
is he still around?
Oh, he's still around,
I
yeah.
did a show or two with him.
He's such a mysterious guy that it always makes me wonder. Like, to me, it makes him funnier because there's so much mysterious.
Right, he just looks like. Remember when the Undertaker had a phase where he was a biker?
Right.
This kind of it seems like he's just cosplaying as that. But I guess that's who he really is. But
Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure if that's who he really is.
right, or it's just a stage guy,
Right.
or a social media character that he plays.
Exactly. Yeah, he does a show here every other Tuesday. He's Tuesday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Good
hadn't-
Times, Bad Times with Joey Petroni.
Nice. That's what this show should be called. This should be Bad Times and Worse Times.
Yeah, that sums it up.
The
He
show
had-
is just called No One Shows Up because there are always car accidents.
Yeah, so it's called
We're
No Times.
mysteriously canceling them. But if you weren't doing the shows, what happens to your listeners? They're just
I did. I had to
they
post.
go out in the woods and like, oh, what is
I'm standing there at this accident scene. Sorry, guys, not doing a show today. My son had an accident. Like,
liar?
I can't believe. Well, I did.
How would you turn your back on your fans?
I even posted a picture eventually, because I didn't want anybody to think that I was lying. So I did. In fact, I'll show you.
One new Facebook fan because of this.
Because from this?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Elizabeth
Batapede.
Sorry,
Very
no, that's
nice.
her name.
Liz Batapede. Yeah, see there it is.
Holy crap! And nothing happened.
Nothing happened to him.
Did he jump out of the? Did he like jump out of the car and just push it?
I wish. I'll tell you. I'm sure I've shown you guys this plenty of times. If there, I'm blocking Joe's face.
Yeah.
If there was a passenger in that car, I think it would have been a much different story.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so yeah, cars are very designed to like protect the
Crash.
driver, but everybody else, not so much. I have one of those cars that does the thing where it's like obstacle detected, and it slams on the brakes.
Oh, look at you,
But it makes this
fancy.
like horrible sound that sounds like you hit something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
like,
know that.
what was that? No, and it could be anything, like a plastic bag flies across the street, and the car's
that
like
would make me
obstacle
nuts.
detected, but then a kid on a bike is in front of your car, and the car's like, meh. You know.
My mother has one of those self-driving cars,
I feel like I could almost trick mine into being a self-driving car, but not really.
but it freaked me out. Like it takes over. It like I was in the middle of making a turn. All of a sudden, it's like, what the? Like if it feels that you're too close, like if you're in the left lane, it feels like you're too close to the median. It will, like start to pull away, and I'm like fighting with it. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, mine will do that sometimes.
And that's
actually.
crazy. It made me nuts.
I don't mind that so much. It's more like if I start like backing, like parallel parking too quickly, the car thinks I'm gonna crash into the car behind me and just slams on the brakes and makes the worst noise ever.
Oh, that
Like
yeah.
sounds like it's like using up the entirety of your brakes.
right. Yes.
Oh, good.
Then you start to worry your brakes are going. Yeah. See, it makes me.
Yeah, I also have one of those cars that thinks it's a good idea to turn off when you're stopped at a light.
Yes.
And I don't need that. You could turn that off, but like you have to do it every time.
Because the ignition starting and stopping like that.
Right.
hurts
And they're
it.
like, haha, you saved 0.01 gallons of gas.
Yeah,
I'm like,
big
no,
deal.
I didn't.
Big deal. Joan Asher, accidents, tech difficulties, neck surgery, guests cancel, no shows. DJ D-Love is the only reliable constant. Wow. DJ D-Love is a guy that
Pandemic.
calls every day. Wow. Yeah, right.
Which I also think was just an elaborate plot by you to A, not do comedy, and B, not have me on the show. So that's my question. I thought you were going to ask if like I could actually speak Klingon or what else, or if I worked for Goblin Industries. I think that's another thing on my Facebook page.
I don't even remember. Can you speak
I might have
Klingon?
finally took that down, but no, I can't speak. I mean, I could pretend to.
That would be kind of cool. The last thing I have for you, I'm going to rattle off some names and some mutual friends that we have on Facebook.
Oh, crap.
And you just say whatever you want about them.
All right.
There was even... Oh, no, I took that name off. There was one name, a mutual friend. You ever look at your friends, you're like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, and then you try to remember, because like I had one phase where I was accepting everybody.
I still do that.
And then I cut it off, and now I'm like back to like sort of accepting people if they don't look completely insane, you know?
As long as it's not like one of those Oriental girls who look like they're 12. As long as it's not one of those.
Oriental?
That was poor. Japanese? I don't know.
Asian.
Thank you. Yes, now I'm going to be thrown off.
Mike Keegan used to do a joke where he would say Oriental, and I wanted to throw something at him every time because that's like a thing people were saying like the 50s.
Yeah.
And I don't even. It doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't even refer to like a specific group of people.
It doesn't?
No, I mean the Orient is like. Were we talking about people from Orient Point?
Yes, that's
Okay,
what I was
then
talking
that's
about.
fine.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Perfect.
Because you take the ferry over there, and you meet all these people.
Yeah, and they never leave that area. They're not
Right,
allowed-
they're always there.
Cursed.
Yes, they're just stuck. They're not allowed to leave.
That's what I believe. That's what I also believe about people who sing Christmas songs. They only do so because they're cursed to sing those songs because they all sound like they're in pain.
Yes,
I agree. They don't paint a nice picture of Christmas.
Ave Maria makes me want to cry.
Every song is like my wife left. I saw Mom kissing Santa.
Rudolph, they're mean to him.
Grandma got killed by reindeer. What the hell is going on?
Exactly.
This is my story.
Right. They only accepted Rudolph because he became famous with his little red nose. They didn't care about him. They totally use him.
Now the news is saying there's a Christmas tree shortage and Santa doesn't have enough reindeer. Like, this is insane.
Right. It's true.
And is Santa vaccinated?
Oh, that's true. He's
The
coming
North
to our house
Pole,
without a mask.
he's also a magical character.
But that should have been last year. Did we talk about that last year?
I don't
was
know.
he coming into people's houses without a
Vaccines
mask?
were only, well, almost definitely.
There should have been a bouncer at every chimney checking for his card. All right, I'm going to throw some names out. Say whatever you want about these people, and if you don't even know who it is, just
Pass.
say, I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. I didn't say anybody else.
Neil Rubinstein.
Neil Rubinstein. I know Neil for many years, and I have nothing nice to say about him. No, he's in Oklahoma now, but like he keeps coming back.
Yeah, but he's not like he claims to live in Oklahoma, but he's just traveling the country constantly.
You know what? It's so impressive what he's doing with whatever it is he's doing. No, it is. Keep doing it, man. Neil's a funny guy. Neil started doing comedy like 3 different times. And he kept just having no patience for it, but finally around like 2015, 2016, he was like, all right, I'm committing to it. And, I've always liked
Talking
Neil.
about committing,
I kind of hate that he's not around anymore, but
me too.
But at the same time, good riddance. No, okay.
Will Sharon.
I don't know what to make of Will Sharon. He is like my biggest fan, one of my biggest fans on Twitter, to a point where I almost need a restraining order. I only met him, I think, maybe once. And I feel like...
You only met him in person once?
Yeah, he did my show once. And I feel like all I know about him otherwise is that he signed the wall at McGuire's and he was totally not supposed to do that.
Why?
Because he was just like producing his own show there. And the wall is for like headliners and features.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he was not.
Well, yeah, I didn't sign it. I've hosted there twice, and I'm...
you're probably... Yeah,
that qualifies as signage?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
There's comics who signed it who like worked there once and never worked there again, so...
Wow.
But maybe there's no room. I'm going to sign this wall, actually.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Where's like the worst place I could... I'll sign the TV.
Oh, that would be the worst.
Joe Pontilla was here. So, Will Sharon. I hope he continues to be my fan.
Nice. Jean Marie Liga. Liga?
Oh, my God. I almost forgot about her. Another Joe Pontillo fan, and I guess she dabbles in comedy. I think she has her dabbled once. Yeah, she likes to leave comments that like where like she tells you her life story.
Yes,
which is fine
if you have the time to read it.
Yes.
Tim Saliani.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's a funny story. So I only knew him from the internet. But I did a show with him recently and didn't realize it was him.
Oh.
And I made a comment. I was like, you look taller than your Facebook comments. Well, because like his Facebook picture is like him with like a hat.
It's always a close-up mad face.
Yeah, very close up. And then you see him in person. He's kind of got like long hair and no hat. So I didn't know who I wasn't going to come up to him and be like, hey, you. I didn't know who he was. And then I heard him get called on stage. I was like, oh. We know each other from the internet.
You don't do that when you're performing. Let's say you're performing here at Governor's. There's I don't know maybe 5 other comedians. You don't say, "Hey, we're performing tonight together." I'm Joe. You don't do that.
I would punch someone in the face if they do that to me. No, I'm not like that. I'm not.
You're not curious who these guys are on the bill with you?
I just walk in and I say hi to whoever I know, and then it's like everybody else introduces themselves to me.
Oh.
I put my my hand out, so I don't have a ring, but. People will be like,
If there was a ring, I'd kiss it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just give me a fist bump.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh. Mark David Hirschman.
The name, he should be in jail. Next question.
Yep, you're
right.
No,
he has been pretending to do comedy for the last 20 years.
That's outstanding.
Also a Valley Stream native. He should just keep responding to Mike Francesa on Twitter.
Yes.
Or Steve
Didn't Francesa block him?
Francesa knows how to block people? Yeah, he probably
Somebody
does,
blocked him recently. I think it was Francesa.
I know he said something to Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, and then the Mets immediately went out and signed a bunch of big free agents.
Yeah.
And in the league, locked out very suspiciously. So I think it's an attack.
Oh, the Mets were smart. They saw this lockout coming, so they signed these guys. I'm very excited for this upcoming season.
If there is one, yeah.
Well, true. Although it is the Mets, even the biggest players, they just end up getting hurt when they're on the Mets.
Yeah, Max Scherzer will throw like 6 innings and then be
Right.
like, guys, I'm retiring.
Yep. 37 years old. He had a great year last year. So
yeah, he
who
was
knows,
still
but-
so good, and he only has to be number 2 behind DeGrom, so.
True. Joey Cola.
Joey. I like that we just went from like really random people
I'm
to
going
like
all over the
this
place.
guy's borderline famous. I like Joey Cola. I don't know. He does a thing with the Sopranos guys.
Yes, I saw that
which
once.
is
It was fantastic.
because I'm like, let me open for you as you're opening for them. That would be a good way to quickly get a bunch of fans. And then what else? Didn't he like? I forget. He did warm up for like
everybody.
Everybody. Let's not
Rosie.
Rosie?
He did Rosie. He did Martha Stewart. Currently, he's doing Rachel Ray and Drew Barrymore.
This is insane.
Yep.
I don't have the stomach for that. Doing like,
I would love to do warm up.
I saw one in L.A. I went to go see a Craig Ferguson taping years
nice.
ago. He had a really... Oh, no, it wasn't him. He had a terrible guy, actually. Conan had a really good guy. I went to see Conan with Brian McGinnis in 2006. This is
Nice.
how long I've known Brian McGinnis.
Yep.
And the warm-up comic was hilarious.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Couldn't tell you anything about it. But that was the only time. Well, I only went to 2 late-night shows, and one time the warm-up comic was great, and the other time they were kind of cringy, and I feel like they belonged on a sex offender list.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of which, Louis C.K. was the guest on that episode of Conan. Whoa!
Hey-oh! I've seen Joey do warm up twice. I saw him do it for Rachel Ray, and I saw him do it for Kevin Can Wait. He's the hardest working man in the building for both shows.
Right. He's and he's not young. He
just turned 60.
He's 60.
Just turned 60.
All right, hang in there. Belmore's finest.
That's right. Frank Fiala.
Who the hell? Oh, I sounded like 3 other people. The ex-cop with a heart of gold who
That's
does
the one.
commercials for like plunges and what's the stuff they put in the wall?
Asbestos.
Asbestos. He does pro asbestos commercials. He's like, hey, do you want to slowly make your family sick over the next 20 years? Well, buy a bag of asbestos and put it in your wall. He's a really nice guy.
Very nice man.
Surprisingly. So
Every year the Mets have that one commercial that they play between every inning all season long. Last year it was that commercial. I told him, I saw him, he was just here a few weeks ago. I said, Frank, I'm sick. I haven't seen you since COVID, but I'm sick of you already because
But I've
that
had
commercial."
enough. How do you live with yourself?
That's right. If you made money every time that commercial airs, then I'll support you, and I have no problem with it. But he didn't, so.
And I think we should get rid of the police except Frank. I think Frank
Yes.
should be the only cop.
Agreed.
And do we know any other cops? No, but
Roy George.
oh, okay, yeah, he could stay too.
He stays.
Yeah, they could be cops if they're comedians, or my
That's
cousin,
right.
or my cousin who's a cop.
What?
He's a state trooper though, totally different.
James Pontillo was a cop?
No.
Oh, different
This is
cousin.
my mom's side of the family.
Oh, okay.
They're not Pontillos. They're other.
They
I'll
don't
give you a
count.
PBA card.
Whoa! I got 2 lines ringing all of a sudden.
I should
Holy
go.
moly! It's either people who represent the Orient,
Sir,
or it's
I'm a
cops.
cop.
And now they both stopped ringing. That was very strange. All right, never mind. All right, I got a couple more names. Chris Roach,
Too tall. Next question.
Alan. I was going to keep going.
I will leave Chris Roach alone.
Alan Gutnick.
I don't actually know anything about him. I know the name, and I'm sure we've been Facebook friends since like 2011 or something, but I don't think I've ever met him in person. I couldn't tell you a single does he have glasses?
Yes,
All right.
and I'm going to say you guys probably performed together
Maybe.
somewhere.
Not by choice. Let me tell you a story about Alan Goodnick.
He's been out of he stopped doing comedy years ago.
Oh, okay.
Heather Apostolides.
Man, I used to run a show at Greenwich Comedy Club with another comedian, and he booked her, and we became Facebook friends after that. That's really all I got for her. She was doing like fundraisers for Bernie Sanders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like comedy show fundraisers.
Right.
And I was like, why aren't I on these? I actually have a joke about Bernie Sanders. But I really just said that to myself. But
you didn't say
I don't
that
need to do any political fundraising. Years ago, I did some political show, and I knew nothing about politics at the time, and it was horrible. But I got paid a lot of money.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but I felt really bad about it. Oh, and I was on the Joey Reynolds show to promote it.
Oh.
So with Jackie the Joke Man. So
wow.
all this stuff happened, and then I performed, and I was just like, politics, am I right? That was my one joke about voting in 2004. Ha ha ha. Oh.
Well, what about Jackie? What did he do? So a politician walks into a bar.
No, he was just on separately, like doing his own.
Right,
It was like, it ends up being like a panel thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So, but yeah, Jackie wasn't talking politics.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Heather does this thing. I don't know if you've seen it on.
I don't know if she still does comedy.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does. Okay.
But now she's doing. Her and her husband, they're doing Seinfeld episodes, where if Seinfeld continued and it was on today,
that's interesting.
She plays Elaine. Her husband is Jerry, and they have a Kramer and a George.
And
they're only like 5-10 minute episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
I think they're not. Then obviously Seinfeld stands on its own. So they do a nice job. They do a good job with it. I enjoy it.
That's funny. There was an account on Twitter called, I think, Current Day Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
But they popped up in my feed too many times, and I blocked them.
Oh boy.
It was just like, Jerry does blah blah blah, YOLO and blah 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 blah, Trump ad. I don't know what it was.
I wonder if that's them. I'm not sure.
I don't think it was them. But
and she nails it, Elaine. She nails it.
that's funny.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
check
thought
that
it
out.
was pretty good. But that's it. Those are all the names I got.
Those are all the names. Yeah,
That's
those would be
it.
like 30 names.
Oh,
Give me that list.
actually, did I?
No.
I think I did leave one off. Oh, John Peterson. I left John Peterson off.
That guy. Oh. That's a sweet guy. Looks like he's actually related to Chris Roach, but he's not. I think he's in a wheelchair.
That's him.
He comes to shows and
Comes a lot to shows.
And he'll like threateningly message me like once a year and be
Yes.
like, Joe, when are you going to be at the clubs? And
Yep.
I'll give him dates, and then he doesn't show up. But I understand. But he's seen me before once or twice. He's been around forever. There's always just like rotating clique of like comedy people who are not comedians. They're just fans of comedy that
Yep.
just show up. Like there was this guy, he doesn't come anymore. His name was Greg, but on Facebook his name is like Tony Bacchieri.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess he didn't show up. I think he was just like secretly rich. And he just showed up, or he was like, stealing our material and he does it on the West Coast. I don't know. But nice guy, and he used to just come and hang out at the shows. They wouldn't charge him.
Yeah.
It's so weird. There's just like weird group of like we need to make a Long Island comedy fan like all-star page, like the Whack Pack that like
There you go.
Howard Stern used to have.
Yep.
Like John Peterson, that guy Greg.
Well, Liz Batapede, she comes to Governor's to one of the three clubs all the time. In fact, she's going to be here tonight to see Modi.
Oh wow, okay.
That's funny you mentioned Tony Bacchieri because or Greg.
I know he's still
He's
around
still
on
around,
the
yeah.
internet. I just don't know if he goes to shows anymore.
Sallie and I were in the city once. We were going to see a show at the Iridium. And we're online because the line is out.
That sounds like some sort of renewable energy source.
You're not familiar with the Iridium?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a look.
No, it's a cool name.
Yeah, Les Paul. Remember Les Paul, the guitar
Yeah.
player? He used to perform every Monday night there.
Yeah.
We were going to see. Who were we going to see that night? I don't remember who. Oh, I think we're going to see Mike Del Judas. You know who that is? Big Shot, the Billy Joel tribute band.
Oh, okay.
We were going to see him there, and their line is outside. The place is really small, so when you're online to get into the shows, they line you up outside. So Sallie, she walked off because she thought she saw somebody she knew or something like that. So she walks off to talk to somebody. All of a sudden, I hear from behind me. He said, "Excuse me, Mr. Walker." I was like, "What the fuck?" I go, "Yeah,
Mr.
Yeah, Mr. Walker."
That was the first thing that threw me off.
Absolutely. Like nobody calls me that.
Hey, Tony. You're that,
Well,
you're
there's
that
me,
guy
yeah.
from Gov's Radio.
Well, that's the thing. He goes, Mr. Walker, and I thought I was getting like a subpoena or something. Like, yes. And he said, yeah, I've seen you. I enjoy your show, on Gov's Radio. I'm like, really? I'm like, holy shit.
Why? No.
So we talk for a minute, and it's him. And
Oh,
then
that's great.
Sallie comes over, and he's like, Sallie. And we're both of us like, and he starts taking pictures of us and stuff. But not even selfies. He's just taking pictures of us. He's not even in the picture. I'm like, you should be in the picture, but
Yeah,
Freaked me out, but
I
he
feel
turns
like
out
on
to be a great
Twitter
guy.
he goes by Jack Parr, and at first I
does
didn't know.
he?
At first I didn't know it was him. I thought it was just some random comedy account, so I didn't follow him back. And then he unfollowed, and I realized it was him, and I was like, "Oh, it's this guy."
sorry, Greg, Jack, Tony.
Yes. How many aliases can you have? Definitely
Wow.
running from the law,
Absolutely.
but I'm on your side.
Well, because it's only going to be Frank and George and Frank and Roy as cops anyway. So
Very soon, yes, when I
We'll make it happen.
defund / abolish the police.
all right, there we go. Joe Pontillo. So where? Facebook website. What do you got coming up?
Oh God, what is happening? I'm actually at the brokerage this Sunday at
Oh,
7.
nice.
Yeah, that's a wholesome comedy show. And then what else is going on? I don't know, a whole bunch of random things. I got a show in Bayside next week. I think Saturday I'm at Broadway Comedy Club.
Very
so,
nice.
You know.
So where would one find these dates?
Oh, well, you can find them on joepontillo.com, or if you follow me on Instagram, I regularly post where I'm going to be in my stories. Don't respond, I will block you. No, I'm kidding. And yeah, so follow me there, Pontillogram, subscribe on YouTube, and I'm also on TikTok. And this new thing called Clapper, which
Clapper?
is either going to blow up in 6 months or I'm getting my social security number stolen. I can't figure it out.
Okay.
But it seems to be the new version of TikTok.
Yeah, but that's what everybody was saying about Clubhouse, and that seemed to have come and gone.
Yeah, I think people, you know what? That was shut down by the man.
Oh, is that right? I
think
didn't
so.
know that.
Because it was too much freedom. You know, people don't like freedom on the internet.
That's true.
They like everything to be controlled or absorbed by the metaverse, or, you know, to have a fake news label posted on it.
I like how you said the metaverse, being that Facebook is now run by Meta.
Right, which is terrifying.
Yes, very much
Which
so.
reminds me of Metamucil,
Oh.
which is only going to lead to older people signing up for the website because you're like, yeah, this reminds me of the thing that helps me poop. Oh, time to yell about politics. The vaccines are killing us.
It kind of all makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Meta. Yeah.
Wake up, sheep.
All right, very nice. So this Sunday at the brokerage.
Oh, yeah, unless they
Perfect.
bump me. But yeah, I'm there.
And then, and who's the girl that's there this weekend? Friday and
Is it Carmen Lynch?
Carmen Lynch is
Oh,
there
okay.
Friday and Saturday, and then Joe Pontillo on Sunday. That's
I was
a
just
good
accidentally
weekend right
listening to one of her tracks on Spotify because
there. Accidentally.
yeah, I was trying to see if my album was still on Spotify, and it is seemingly, but at first Spotify shuffles, so it's either a comedian you don't want to hear or the song "Butter" by BTS playing on loop, which I think is now playing in hell. Just if you haven't heard the song, you're lucky. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I haven't.
It's
So
like
I might have to check it out.
do smooth like butter. But it's a hot song. There's
Well, it's
I think
BTS
they're-
after all.
I think they're a K-pop band, or like they're the American version of K-pop. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
But you know,
And I didn't know you had an album. What's the name of the album?
oh right, it's called "Delete Your Account." Quick backstory. First of all, I filmed the special here
Oh.
in the little room, and they had no idea what I was doing. I tried to tell them, but they were like, "We don't care." But it was very cool. It was a great night. It was streaming on Amazon from early 2018 until early this year.
Oh, wow.
And then I had some people come see me at a show, and they were like, "Hey, we went to watch your special, and it says it can't play in this country." And I'm like, "What?" So I found out that Amazon takes things down if they don't get a certain amount of views.
Oh, okay.
So it had a good run. It was up for like 3 years.
Absolutely.
But I wish I had known that.
Right.
I would have, and then I wanted to post it on YouTube to be like, well, screw you, Amazon. But because I made a CD version of it, I kept getting copyright claims on everything.
Copyright claims against yourself.
Yes, which has happened before, and they don't care. But when it's 30 different copyright claims, it gets very tiresome. So I was like, well, so my special is currently nowhere. You can find the CD version of it various places, Spotify, iTunes. I think even Amazon Music and YouTube has it somewhere. But
All right.
so what
So
that
you should
means
sell the DVD at your shows.
is in 2022, I might record a new special.
Ooh.
Post-COVID, COVID Joe wrap up. First special was delete your account. This one will be reactivate your account. I don't know. Or an hour of shit. I don't know. I haven't decided on the title yet.
Hour of shit.
It might not even be an hour. It might be like 45 minutes because nobody wants an hour anymore.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to realize with this show, that I do.
I think 10 minutes is plenty for this show.
It does seem to be the case. And then you just post it on Patreon if you want to get paid.
Well, thank you for listening to Limo Talk. I mean, Bad and Sad. What was that show called?
Good times, bad
Good
times.
times, bad times.
All right, we're out. Let's see. Today is Thursday, so we got Serenity Soul Sisters tonight at 5:30. And I think that's it for today. And then we're back tomorrow. Me and Andy Plajanos are here tomorrow, and we'll be talking to Clayton Fletcher. He'll be zooming in.
Good luck. See, you can zoom in.
Well, not when we have Modi on. We totally screwed. Modi came on with Zoom, and we had no audio. And now they're mad at us. So I'm going to be kissing up to Modi tonight, maybe.
All right. Well, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes.
Sure. Thank you, pal. This was fun. Glad you finally made
you
it.
still go to White Post Farms, even though it's
No,
late?
it's just a fall festival.
You don't just wander around.
Yeah, if I
What
miss them,
happens when there's no fall festival?
well, bite your tongue.
Weird shit with the animals.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay. We'll save that for the next episode.
There you go for the title when I'm talking to George Stephanopoulos. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you later. Thank you, pal. This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah.